Hello. Hello, sweet sister goddess, and welcome to whatever comes through in this video. I just knew it was time to set it up and share this evening on my back porch with you. The last day before I turn 42. And perhaps that's what I wanted to share about, is how we learn to celebrate ourselves when we've been taught through a traumatic history to not celebrate ourselves. Welcome, welcome. My name is Rochelle Richard, and here at Empowerment Experiences, we look for and find our power in every moment, all along that which is our self-love empowerment journey. And for myself and so many of my audience, we are also on a twin flame journey. But you will definitely hear me consistently affirm from my own firsthand knowing that a twin flame journey is with absolute certainty a self-love empowerment journey. In fact, what I have come to find is that it is the self-love empowerment journey on steroids. For myself, I was so sure I had it figured out and was ready for anything that could come my way. But of course, I had a vision that was just all my own. Solitary. And there's nothing wrong with that. Yet it's fascinating to note the things that our minds like to tell us based upon societal constructs and programming that we've been given. Certain expectations. Yeah. When really, the truth of it is, Goddess, we each and every one of us, in the eyes of Source, are expected to be nothing and nobody except ourselves. Uniquely divine and divinely unique in each and every one of our own ways. And that is, dear Goddess, one of the greatest things to celebrate about ourselves. Individually, is that each and every one of us are a unique thread woven into the tapestry that makes humanity, that makes all that creation is. Yeah. You see, for me, I was told I was a mistake by my mother when I was very young. When I was 12, I was told to go ahead and do it as I held a steak knife to my wrist. Do it, I don't care, she said. So yeah, I was suicidal by the time I was 12 years old, Goddess. I knew with every ounce of my being that I didn't belong here. And with these societal constructs and limitations that are placed upon us through religion and the indoctrination systems and passed down through generations, that unworthiness is a pretty big disease that infects the majority of us. And that's why I have been so blessed to have this amazing affirmation that was an intuitive gift a couple years ago. Your very existence is evidence of your infinite worth. I'm going to say that again. Your very existence is evidence of your infinite worth. Meaning, the fact that you exist, one, in infinity, that the universe, source, God, whatever label you put on that which is the creator, source said, ooh, I want to make that one, and that one shall be called Rochelle. Or that one shall be called RV. And there you were. No one more special than the other. Yet all infinitely special and priceless as the one-of-a-kind creation that we each are. When I was 15, my mother had said point blank to me, well, you're a mistake. The reason I'm so unhappy and had to marry your dad. Yeah. Thanks, Mom. Thanks. Now, I'm not gonna say that everything about my mother is bad. It's just the things that are bad greatly overshadow the short list of things that have been good. And I have been spending my entire adult life finding my way back to myself, as I'm sure you are too, Goddess. Being told by society and your parents and everybody else outside of you who the fuck you are. Yet they really don't have a goddamn clue, do they? Especially those of us who are so sure of our twin flame status, so sure of our light worker, our starseed, knowing that there's a reason why we felt we felt like we didn't belong here. I mean, from the time I could form the sentence as a very, very little girl, we're talking 2-3 years old, I was saying that I was here to save the world. I'm here to save the world. A bleeding heart. Do you feel that too, Goddess? Feel as though you've never belonged here and you've been fumbling your way through the dark, unable to truly see. I know that place. It's only when we discover that the light that we require is inside ourselves. self-love empowerment journey is a perpetual going and growing journey, goddess. We all need to let go of the illusion that we will wake up one day and we will never know pain again. We will never experience the heartache of things in the past when they come up. That is the contrast of this world. We are literally at the uppermost level of hell and the lowermost level of heaven. We are in that, well, you could say a void space, but this is, we can look around and there's no void. There's existence here. But that is what the duality experience is all about, is that we get to choose. We get to choose to believe the lies that tell us that we're not good enough and that our existence doesn't matter, that nobody cares, that it's all pointless. Even my own ego, because again of my long history of self-loathing, even my own ego will say such nonsense as, what's the point? We're born and we die, and then everything in between can just be whitewashed, and so it was all for nothing anyway. I mean, talk about giving a middle finger to creation, right? Like, yeah, I know you did all this and you created me, but you fucked up. Yeah, what a bitch slap, huh? Or we can choose to focus on the very obvious truth that, again, there's only one of each and every one of us, and we each make up this little piece of the puzzle that is this gorgeous, stunning mosaic of humanity, or as I like to say, the tapestry of humanity. Every one of us interconnected, woven together, that create the all and everything that is this existence. The choice is ours, goddess. And I guess that's really what I was being called to share, is to help you find your power on the days when you feel as though there's no point, that it all feels so heavy and so cumbersome and so pointless. It's not. Everything is for a reason. And just because we don't always get to know what that reason is specifically for why something happens when it happens, or what it is that's happening when it's happening. I don't even like to say hindsight is 20/20 anymore, because 2020 was not very clear visually. That was when all shit hit the fan. Like a goddamn hurricane or cyclone or tornado ripped through the time-space continuum or whatever. Yeah. But I assure you that one of the reasons for everything is to learn. It's all information from the perspective of the soul, from the perspective of source even. I mean, we can understand that all and everything is experiencing itself through all and everything. There are infinite possibilities. And this is why whenever I'm blessed to be given the possibility card in my empowerment messages, it's the knowing that in the realm of possibility, all things are possible. And this is why. This is why it's important to celebrate ourselves, because you have the power to create anything. Because the fact that you exist shows the power that creation is. That is a part of you and you a part of it. And one of my gifts that I gave myself for my birthday, I was intuitively led to pull out my original tarot deck. It's an Angel Tarot deck by Doreen Virtue. And do one of my all-time favorite spreads. It's a 10-card spread. And wow. Was it spot on? Let me tell you, sister. But the underlying theme in it is that I get to create my reality. That I am creating my reality. And dear sweet sister goddess, let me tell you, this last year, I have definitely been experiencing a large chunk of dark night of the soul. And we actually experience multiple dark nights of the soul anytime we really have some major trauma, some major transformative shifts happening. An aspect of ourselves is then dying, an old version of ourselves. And that ego death is literally like the end of the world for the ego. So we go through these dark nights of the soul, and when they're, especially when it's in regards to or connected with our twin flame, oh my God, the devastation that we feel, right? The absolute and utter devastation that we can feel. But as so much of humanity collectively is experiencing this dark night of the soul, it affects us who are sensitive, especially when we stop putting ourselves first. And that's what a self-love empowerment journey is, goddess. It is about learning to put yourself first, learning to recognize that you are the most important person in your life, because without you, there is no your life. And this is another reason to really be learning how to celebrate you, to celebrate yourself, and to let it be okay if you have a mini meltdown. Like even tonight, I realized that all of my birthday freebies, because oh my gosh, I can go around this year. I didn't get to last year. You see, I have a history, like I said, with having a total aversion to celebrating my birthday, not just because of the mother's mistake and things like that, but also because growing up, my mother would end up making herself the center of attention for any birthday parties. She would make a scene of some type or find a way to make herself the center of attention, and not usually in a positive way. I remember it was my 16th birthday or my 17th birthday. It didn't, to me, it doesn't matter because they were all, for the most part, not so memorable in a good way. But I had planned my birthday party and I had all my girlfriends because for once, finally, I had this amazing group of friends, and I had grown up being bullied, being unpopular. And so this was finally, I was finally kind of in my glory days, you could say, at school, like 2 years or so before I was graduating high school. But nevertheless, I was finally feeling good about, school. And 2 weeks before my birthday, my mother tells me my party is canceled and that I'm not allowed to have it. And I was devastated. Devastated. I think I cried every day. I didn't understand. And I hadn't done anything wrong for once. I hadn't done anything wrong. I hadn't done anything to be punished or not allowed. She just said because I said so. Well, 2 weeks later, I was riding around with one of my friends, and we were taking a letter to the post office. We were running a couple errands, and this letter that was going to the post office was another one of our girlfriends' letters to her boyfriend. And it was a girl thing that we always did. We always read each other's letters to our boyfriends. It was just what we did. And so I'm reading the letter. I was allowed, and I get to the part where she talks about how Rochelle's mom has planned a surprise party for her. And I felt so betrayed. Because I knew something was up that day, but I couldn't put my finger on it. And it was because my friend driving me around was supposed to be keeping me busy while the other friends were preparing for this party. And when we finally got to the house and I walked in the door, and everybody yelled surprise. It was all I could do to just turn and look at my mother and say, how could you? How could you lie to me? And tell me I couldn't have a party and then you go and do this? What's wrong with you? And of course, my mother, being the 5-year-old that she is, had a meltdown and threw a tantrum and went running off into the other room, and I had to spend my birthday consoling her. I had to be the mother. Well, this pattern of people making themselves center of attention perpetuated throughout my life, to such a degree that I stopped having birthday parties and I pretty much stopped celebrating my birthday altogether. I just had experienced so much of what's the point? In fact, the last group party I had, 5 years ago now, 6 years ago now. I think it's 5 years ago. Sure enough, we were out at a public location and someone there wanted to get all in a tizzy and make a scene because of what someone else was doing at their booth it was an essential oil thing, and she just had to go and make a scene. And I remember sitting there saying to myself, this is why I don't celebrate my birthday. This is why I don't do parties. Not for me. We can't even sit and just have, as it was a small group even. And then a couple of the other people who were supposed to have been invited there for my birthday, they never even came and sat with us at the table. And they barely come and said, oh, hi, bye, happy birthday, we'll see you later. And I'm like, you're here because I invited you here, but okay, bye. So I swore that day I was never going to celebrate my birthday again. And I didn't the following year. Again, like I said, I have so few actual celebrated birthdays that I really don't have a lot that come to mind. So 3 years ago, that was when I discovered this list. And I was already doing my empowerment experiences thing. I was already on this reclaiming my power intentionally. And I knew that I needed to do something different. I knew that I deserved celebrating, and it was just a matter of finding the way that I could do it that felt aligned, that felt empowered for me to do. And that was again when I discovered, because I'm in the Phoenix Valley, and so there's like a gazillion businesses here, and so many businesses like to celebrate you for your birthday, and that means you get to come in and you get a freebie or something. Like one of my 3 favorite coffee shops, they do, they'll give you a free drink. And then there's this, I have to shout them out. So Sozo Coffee House in Chandler, Arizona, they'll give you a free drink for your birthday. And then there's Nothing Bundt Cakes, as in Bundt cakes, right? Nothing Bundt Cakes. I got to get to know them as they were a budding business at farmers markets and vendor events before they actually got, I think they're up to 4 locations in the valley now, 3 or 4 actual locations. And I got to know their magic of the Bundt cakes before they ever had an actual brick and mortar shop. But they'll give you a free buntlet for your birthday, which is a small individual. I'm not going to say single serve. I mean, like, it's best because they're rich. They're really good. Like, you want to cut that puppy in half unless you're like looking to go on a sugar rush. But they gift you with a buntlet for your birthday. And so those are just 2 of the spots. And then my third favorite one, because it's even something different still. So you get a drink, you get a buntlet. And then it's called Changing Hands Bookstore in Tempe, Arizona. And there you are given a $10 store credit for your birthday to spend on anything in the store. And when I had gone that year, when I discovered it, they have a little cafe right next door. You can walk into the cafe through an entryway from the Changing Hands bookstore into this shop. And when I told them it was my birthday, and they were like, oh my gosh, well, you can pick something. So I got another sweet treat, and there are others. I recommend that I can't remember the website off the top of my head, but there is a website where there's 132 birthday freebies in the Phoenix Valley of different places. And like I said, I know Sozo Coffee House is not on that list. There are other places that are on there. Red Robin, they gift you with a burger, and they have the best freaking veggie patty. So there's that. But most of these, or well, not most of them, some of them you need to be on their mailing list so they can send you a coupon or a voucher for it. Well, That's the other side of this. Again, as you step out of your comfort zone and you do things different, Goddess, be prepared. You will be tested, not by God, not by source, not by that aspect of yourself, but by your ego. That says, wait a minute. This feels good. I'm used to feeling like shit. We can't do this. Hashtag not allowed. So you'll sabotage yourself in most often subconscious ways. And one of those things that I did to myself, that I had a mini meltdown this evening with over, is that I cleaned out my email, all the spam, like, oh my God, thousands between the social folder and the promotions folder, and then I emptied my trash folder without even realizing that some of my birthday mailing list vouchers were sent to the promotions folder. And they usually come at the end of April or by the first week of May, because my birthday is May 24th. Well, I cleaned out those folders, all three of them, the promotions, the social, and the trash folder, 3 days ago. And so tonight, and it's not like it's a big deal, because you really, every place has been so nice, even when I wasn't on the mailing list yet, you know, to say, yeah, we'll do that for you. They'll do it for me, especially when I tell them that I did this. But I kid you not, Goddess, I sat here and I just started crying. I was like, of course I would do that to myself. Because you see, when last year happened, I didn't really celebrate last year. I don't remember what I did. I mean, we were in the middle of, you know, this shit. So I couldn't go around anywhere. I completely disrupted my new wonderful aligned system. And so now, as a result, going out tomorrow has triggered some things for sure. I know I'm still going to go, and I'm going to focus on all the blessings and the abundance that the universe is showering me with. But it's not going to be easy, because I know there are going to be things that are going to come up, just like even right now, just talking about it. But this is the journey, Goddess. This is what we do. We look at the ways that we are out of alignment with our truth, and that truth is that we are divine beings of love. And the universe loves us. And so we're being asked to love ourselves. And it's a learning journey. Oh, the other kicker is that my mother's birthday is May 3rd, so the month of May has always been a highly energetically charged month for me. And then my twin flame love, last year, he attempted suicide. And right now, we're not talking because of each our own wounds and triggers that we keep perpetuating, because of the frustrations that we feel that are keeping us apart, and the doubts being so amplified that we will we will never get to be together. I share with you my journey, Goddess, so that you can see that I'm not immune. I too am continuing to look for and find my power in my journey, building a business, being on this twin flame journey, especially with the history that I have with men as a result of my history of self-loathing and looking for love in all the wrong places. Yeah. So tomorrow, I turn 42. I got some celebrating to do. It's such a trip. This human experience, isn't it? This self-love empowerment journey, this twin flame journey, it's all such a fucking trip. All we've got to do is just keep coming back to ourselves, back to the present moment. Because only within can we connect with our power. Only within can we find the truth of ourselves. The truth of our infinite worth. The world is waiting for you to show up in all your glory, just as the universe created you to be. You exist because you are wanted here. And the universe celebrates you all the time, not just on your birthday, but every day, because you exist. And everything that tells you differently is a lie. A lie to keep you small. A lie to dim your light. A lie to keep you trapped in a prison of not just pain, but suffering. Because pain in this realm is inevitable, as I've said. It's the both. It's the duality. It's the heaven and the hell here. But the suffering, that's what's optional. But yeah, the suffering is chosen. It's chosen. And that means we can let it go. And how do we let that go? We focus on the good. We focus on the blessings. We focus on the truth that, oh my God, there is only one of me. And that's what makes me so priceless. And that's what makes me worth celebrating. That the universe decided, and boom, here you are. Here you are. That said, dear Goddess, I'm going to sign off. I will perhaps consider making a birthday video of my birthday shenanigans, just me, myself, and I, because I didn't make any plans. I just want to go to some of my spots. So maybe I will, make a video showing especially my top spots, like Sozo Coffee House, Changing Hands Bookstore. Go in and see Nothing Bundt Cakes and say hi to everybody there too. Yeah. I want to thank you for the gift of you, Goddess. For those of you who watch my videos, who follow me, who support me, who partake in my services and my gifts that I have to offer this world. I am so grateful for you. You are the greatest gifts that anybody could ask for. So, remember that. When you feel like you don't make a difference, I see you. And so does the universe. You exist because you have been chosen to exist. And you're supposed to shine your unique light as bright as you fucking can. So I'm gonna go do that tomorrow. And I'm gonna keep doing that for you. And for me. Because it's why I'm here. And as I come out on the other side of a year-long journey of learning so much about myself and about my incompatibility of roommates and just coming back home to me more and more and more. You'll be seeing more and more of me. So be sure to subscribe if you're not already, and like this video so that when your birthday comes, or on the days when you start to question your purpose here, your reason for being here, I promise you, you're here for a reason. I have no doubt about that. You have a purpose for being here. And that's one of my great gifts, is to help you reveal that purpose to yourself. So you can shine bright, that unique light, and celebrate yourself every fucking day that you are here. That said, dear Goddess, I'm going to sign off, and I just want to thank you again. Thank you for being here. Thank you. And remember, the power is in your hands, Goddess. Because it has always been inside you. Namaste.